All right, there we go. Stream starting right now. What's good with y'all, man? This is me by myself right here. You know what I'm saying? Switch that screen. There we go. All right, cool deal, man. So, get straight into it, man. I apologize if you caught my notifications on yesterday. I was having all kind of streaming issues or whatnot, man. Not exactly sure what's going on. I know I got a new USB hub, and it's been giving me problems ever since. So, I had to get some things straight with that, and also too internet, man. I don't know what's been going on with the internet here in this area, but just everything been just been off on that too. Uh, it's crazy, man. People asking for advice, and it's kind of hard trying to get stuff done. Like right now, um, I just really don't. I really don't. Let me see. Uh, so this is a question that I'm getting right now. Should you change your block size in personas? So that's a question I'm getting right now. I put it to you like this: your block size is gonna be this right here. And I'm helping someone out trying to fix some audio issues in Studio One. So this basically, let me go ahead and transition to my mainstream layout. So basically, block size is what he's talking about is the buffer size, for example. Um, this is the device block size. Depending on your interface or whatnot, um, I'm gonna tell him right now. Um, Depending on your audio interface and what you're doing, if you're mixing, use the max device block size. But if you're recording, try to utilize the smallest device block size if your computer can handle that. All right, so I'm just sending a message. This is live streaming. These are my day-to-day stuff or whatnot. But your device block size ain't nothing but a buffer size. Okay. Depends on your interface that you're using. If you're doing a lot of mixing, yes, please use the highest block size allowed for that particular interface. But if you're doing like recording, if you can record all the way down to 128 samples, do that. If you can do 64 samples, do that. You know what I'm saying? I think on this interface that I'm using currently, if I pull up the control panel, and I'm using the Motu M series for my streaming purposes. I use the UAD when I'm not streaming. But I could choose anywhere between 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, and 1024. And with my UAD, you can add, you can double this 1024 size to 2048. And sometimes, and I got to figure that out, it'll be at 4092. So your buffer size is definitely, it makes a difference far as performance. It makes a difference far as delay and stuff like that. What you're gonna hear back, how many plugins you can utilize, far as the latency is concerned, far as what you hear back, and what's going on in the computer and stuff like that. So, it just really computer dependent on what your system can do, or whatnot. But like I said, like I told him, it depends on what your computer can handle versus what you're doing. So that's just one of the things I was just answering right there live right there, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Last night I tried to do a stream last night. It just really wasn't working for me. So what I'm going to do is just reiterate what I was trying to do last night. So I was trying to get the stems for this instrumental right here, and that instrumental right there, man. So I got the stems. I had went back and made some changes to it on live. Did all of that, and what I'm saying, as far as making that 808 snap a little bit more. When I exported the tracks, what happened was nothing. I didn't choose the loop area, so it only did just that one wave file and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do now, man, is just go ahead and bring over these files. Now I already have the main beat in here, so I'm just gonna drag these files over. All right, and I know the tempo is right. Okay, cool deal. We can go ahead and mute this instrumental track right here at the top. And this is my template I'm working off of, by the way. So the let me move my camera just out of the way just a little bit for you guys. That way, you guys can see that track. There we go. About right there. All right, cool deal. All right, so this pink track is the instrumental. Everything else in red is going to be the beat stems. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get rid of all these excess tracks right here. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and remove tracks, selected tracks. All right, cool deal, and you'll see right there. Now I do have some delay tails and some delays in here. See how this information is low? That's because I had perfect gain staging, or near perfect gain staging, should I say? Because I keep everything at a low volume. All right. And when I do that, keep everything at a low volume. What happens is that I can get a lot out of here. I can really push the gain on the wave files and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do now is just to see what I can eliminate more in here. Because let's say, for instance, this reverb return track right here, even though I did all individual tracks in Ableton Live, most of these tracks are just going to be excess, just file size. So if I don't need it, I'm not going to use it or whatnot. So what we're going to do is, you see right here at the bottom corner, you can increase the wave data and see what you're working with. These tracks right here are not what's up. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and remove those tracks right there. All right, cool deal. And this one as well. I'm going to go ahead and remove that track. All right. And I got another one here. I don't know what that one was about, but I'm going to remove that one as well. And cool beans. So now that's all my beat data that you see in red. All right. Now I'm going to return the wave data back down to this right here. All right. And we'll get happy mixing. So let's check and make sure that the audio lines up perfectly with the vocals.
Drop that booty, make it go round and round. Then you gotta pick it up, then drop it back down. You gotta work, 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 work. You better work, 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 work. Dance, yeah, dance, yes, dance. You better dance.
All right.
Okay. Dance.
Now I hear something, and I hope you hear it too.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna see if you guys can figure it out. What did you hear that was off? I gave you a clue. I gave you a clue word. Off. The beat is off just by a millisecond or whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is play the solo part and mute the beat stems. All right, let's go here. Oops, we don't want the scratch pad. I hate the scratch pad. Can you just get rid of the scratch pad? Because I don't like it. I hate it. It's a extra function that's really not worth it.
Drop that booty, make it go round and round. Then you gotta pick.
All right, so right here, we're going to detect this transit. So I'm going to highlight this right here, and then I am going to detect the transients on this one. So let's see, detect that transient. Let's do this. I think you could do tab. Let's see. I'm gonna put our cursor about right here, and we're gonna tab. That's the transient right there. If you zoom in, you can see right here. Zoom in on that cursor that the stems are. The instrumental is way off than what the stems are. The stems are true to tempo, okay, but you'll notice that instrumental. It was an MP3, so there probably was some latency when that was bounced out or whatnot. So I have to line everything up. So these stems gonna have to come back according to the instrumental. And this is only because the vocals were recorded to the instrumental. So I have to make the beat stems fit up accordingly. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move this back. I'm gonna put a marker right here. All right. And let me go ahead and put a marker there. Bet. So that's my marker. That's where I need to have this bad boy right here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is go here, okay, and I'm gonna tab to that transient right here, okay, and we're gonna go ahead and see if I can just put a little go ahead and I'm gonna cut this part right here. Let's see, so I'll cut this little part right there. All right. Or you can eyeball it. Either way you want. You can do either or. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and eyeball this. All right. So I'm gonna highlight all of those tracks in red. All right, we're gonna go to that second marker that we had right here. All right, and what I like to do is just eyeball that bad boy. All we gotta do is go to the marker. All right, that's the marker right there. And do this again one more time. All right, and what we're gonna do is gonna line up that 808 with this right here. Okay, about right there. And I'm gonna zoom in some more. Put my play cursor right here. All right, and what I'm looking for is this little hump right here. It should be right here. Bam, right there. All right, that's where this 808 hump starts, right here. So I gotta match this 808 right here with that. So let's go back again, highlight all of this. All right, and let's zoom back on that little bit right there. All right, and we're gonna move that up just a hair more right here. Let's go right there. That should take care of where everything should be at. We may be off just a hair bit because I have this other information on the back side too. So if you look right here, this little bit right here, I'm gonna put my cursor right there, put my cursor right here. And again, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I had bounced down the instrumental so she can write to it. And me being lazy, I recorded her vocals on the instrumental. So this is the effect of you know, saying, making sure that, you know, you have your beat stems in here when you're recording. Otherwise, you're going to be doing this silly shit that I'm doing right now. All right, cool. All right, so again, I'm going to line my cursor up right here. Looks good. That looks good about right there. And this right here is not going to be that. So this beat should play along. Now, there's a way you can go and double check everything. Check this out. Solo that, play it. And if you hear any phasing, if not, it should just be amplified music. Now, if I was to move that back, and just to show you guys, if I was to move these beat stems back just a tidget, like right there, check this out. You'll have that phasing where it doesn't seem like it's lining up. That's phasing. It's not lining up. And they'll sound like you're in a club. So that's why you got to do a lot of zooming in and zooming out. And I like Studio One for that. You can zoom in to the doggone T, to the dot, to the needle of the dot. And you can line everything up. Now, you just have to find that right transient to match everything up. Luckily, I got lucky. And when you play this beat, it sounds like the beat just got louder. But if I take the instrumental off, I'm on the money. On the money. Or whatnot. So we don't need this instrumental no more. The beat should line up with the vocals.
Work, 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 work. You better work, 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 work. Dance. Yeah. Dance. Yeah. Dance.
Now, the beat was already somewhat mixed down. The only thing I had to do was just in the Ableton Live session last night when I was trying to stream, thanks to my internet. I think it was just messing up last night. They must have been doing some maintenance on the network. I just got to make this kick punchier. It's not punchy. It's not beating like I think it should be. It's there volume-wise, but it's not beating. I want it to hit. Well, not. I want it to smack. So what we're going to do is we're going to try some shit, okay? Now, I added a transient designer on there, but for some reason, that transient designer, it brought out the kick in the low mid, but I needed to slap a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and add the Diablo Light, okay? And I'm going to see what that does, okay? I know it's going to fuck up. I know it ain't going to be what it is, but we're going to add it on here for shits and giggles. All right? So I got this on this 808. All right, here it is right here. All right, let's try to see if we can bring out some of that 808. Because it's an 808 in the kick. I normally don't do a 808 as a kick, but for this track, I had to do what I had to do and kind of play around with it, so to speak, man. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see what happens.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and solo the beat stems. Now you can hear that. Okay, cool. Now let's add some punch. All right, let's add some clipping. We're gonna do soft clipping. Okay. Yeah, okay. For a free plugin, not bad, right? This plugin comes out tomorrow, by the way, or today, the full version. So that's where I want to be at right there. So what I had to do was I had saturation on this 808. I had saturation on the 808, and in Ableton Live, if you're familiar with Ableton Live, I had the drum bus on there to bring out a little bit more crunch, a little bit more transient. Then I came back with the Unique plugin Spiff. Okay, and I added low shelving and a little low mid boost on the transients and everything like that to bring out the kick. All right, it did that. This is how it sounded. It added a little bit, but I want some, you know what I'm saying? I want, you hear that right there? That's on the chest. That's what I wanted. It added a little, but I want the, right there, you know what I'm saying? So what we have to do is add a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So now that sounds more like a kick than an 808 versus this right here. It sounds like the kick don't have enough definition on the punch, okay? Now that sounds like a rounder 808. So that's pretty good, man. Shout out to Cymatics and the Diablo Light coming through, man. To be honest with you, man, I really don't even think you need the full version. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't cop that free version before tomorrow or today, man, you may be SOL. All right, cool deal, man. So we got that right there. Let's bring it back in with the vocals.
Come on, yeah. That chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Well, we all got the knees. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like truck with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Work. Damn. You better. Damn.
I had a little bit more punch.
Damn. Yeah. Let's go. Damn. Oh, damn. Okay. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, damn. Yeah. Damn. Let's go. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Oh, damn. Ooh. Yeah. Damn. Ooh. Yeah. Damn. Ooh. Yeah. Damn. Drop that booty, make it go round and round. Then you gotta pick
Yeah,
it
there we
up,
go.
then drop it back down.
I'm gonna bring down the output just about a hair.
Work. You better work. I got my check, bitch, I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me.
Got a little clipping right here.
Get it poppin', it's an order. Throw it in a circle, let me see you go the hardest. Hit him with a stroke, better show him you the artist. Killing these.
I like it at 0. Fuck it. Shit. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what? Dave Posada, I think it was Dave Posada, man. I think it was Dave Posada or it was Lou Diaz. One of those great mixing engineers said it may have been Mike Dean. I think it was Mike Dean, another great mixing engineer. Mike Dean said he gives 2 fucks about if the DAW clips, okay? You saw that plug-in clip, you know what I'm saying? If I bring it back, you'll see this little light right here. It clipped. Not continuously, but it clipped just for like a second or two. He said he don't give a fuck about that because it's adding character to that. As long as you know what I'm saying, you're not clipping, like you see right here on this right here, it says 1 instance of clipping out of how many times we done played that, you good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes clipping, that digital clipping, adds some type of saturation or, you know what I'm saying, a certain tone to your sound or whatnot. And I was glad he said that because, you know, we all get caught up in, oh, don't get in the red. But then, you know what I'm saying, it takes away sometimes for that sound. So we're starting to enter in more of a clipping digitally is okay. And you'll notice with a lot of plugins, they have this clip function. So you can clip, but it doesn't show this. It doesn't display it. Theoretically, it doesn't display the clipping, but you'll notice that you still have that digital clipping sound. So that's all to say, man. It's okay to go and clip just a little bit, but not too much. Okay. All right. So that's enough of my yep. Let's go ahead and we got the 808. That was my main primary focus with this. Beat stems was that 808 just to get it sitting right with the vocals because it's the foundation of the beat. I'm gonna turn it down just a hair. I'll turn it down just a hair bit more, man. Yeah, I like that right there. Okay, cool. I'm gonna listen while it goes into the verse.
What's a chopper? Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak, Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, stutter, step.
All right, cool deal. So I like where we at right now with the track. So what we're gonna do now is start, you know what I'm saying, utilizing the drums and getting those where they need to be at. All right, so let's find out where our drums at. All right, we missing the hi-hats. All right, so that's sound right there. I think the hi-hats or the snares right here. No, hi-hats right here. Yeah, we good. So we definitely know that clap needs some volume. All right, and what we're gonna do now is go ahead and change the colors on the drums. I'm not gonna rename this. Look, let me tell you something. I mean, it's good to be, you know, organized, but I'm not gonna rename shit, you know what I'm saying, if I know what the hell's going on. I'd rather do color code because I can look at it like I know the colors for the drums are gonna be yellow and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right. So what we're gonna do now is isolate that the tracks on that clap. I wanna find that. Nope, that's the hi-hats. That's the claps right here. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking, man. You should just name them. I don't work like you. So it is what it is. I'll be another 20 minutes renaming everything. So what we're gonna do is gonna just increase the input gain. I just think that the clap just sounds perfect.
22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak.
All right, so how do you determine how loud a clap's supposed to be? That might be a question somebody may ask. Well, this is how I do it. Throw your track in mono, or throw your DAW in mono, or your monitoring system, whatever, and listen for the clap. You know what I'm saying? You want that clap to sit under the vocals. I mean, just sit right under there. See, this could be your vocals. Your mouth can be the vocals, and then the bottom of your chin can be the clap. That's how I kind of give you a visual representation of it.
Damn. Okay. Damn. Huge damn. Okay.
So we're going to turn down the input gain.
Let's go. Damn. Let's
All right.
go.
Like how it's sitting at 2.4.
Damn. Okay.
We'll turn the channel fader down a little bit now. A little bit too much. Bring it down just a hair bit more.
Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper.
All right, cool.
Big ass, big steak. Long star on a plate.
Now that's in
Big
mono,
monster,
and I'm
I
gonna
ain't
switch it
even
to
ate.
stereo. You're gonna see what I'm talking
Hoes
about.
looking like steak, bitch. Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it
Here we
stew.
go.
Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with.
Now I do need to note that this clap does need a little bit weight. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and choose the channel strip. Give it a little bit more weight. I'm not gonna use anything fancy on these on the beat stems, because it's already somewhat mixed down how I like it, and how, you know what I'm saying, I just got the energy where it's at. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. Bring down the compression a little bit. Matter of fact, very slow compression, because I am going to use some of that. And we're going to bring in the mid range. Okay. It's so important that you understand the mid range and how you utilize that in your mix. That way, when you get this for streaming purposes, when they're going through them little small, less than a dime size earbuds, you know what I'm saying, your mid range cutting through. And your kick and your clap is probably the most, your kick, clap, and snares are the most, you know what I'm saying, mid-rangey focused instruments when it comes to your mix pertaining to streaming. That's the only things that's really going to cut out in the middle and stuff like that. Everything else is, you know what I'm saying, additive, so to speak, man. So that's how I like to focus, especially on the drums. Kick, snare, claps, definitely is a must. It has to get the mid-range right. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the EQ.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking for the meat. All right, so I'm looking for the meat right now. The resonant frequencies I like, or the resonant frequency that I like for this clap that really gives the clap body in the low mid is at 515 hertz. Well, Rich, man, why would you do that and shit like that? And I'm gonna turn it down. Don't worry, I'm gonna turn it down. But the reason why I do that is so, number one, I can find the tonality for us, the pitch with the frequency. Some of y'all probably don't know that frequency is a pitch. You ever heard a tone generator? Not the advanced folks. No, for my beginners, a tone generator, all that does is just basically, you know what I'm saying, you utilize a frequency to find the tone. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard it go? Matter of fact, I can show you better. I can tell you. Check this out, man. Look here. We're gonna go and look at a tone generator. All right, bet. And okay. This tone generator, we got it on a sine wave, okay? When we go ahead and initialize this, check this out. I'm gonna turn that down for you guys, okay? That's at 440 hertz. We was at 515 on the clap, right? Check this out. Let me fine tune that for y'all. Let's see. That's 515 hertz. So when I was looking for that frequency on the clap, I was trying to find that right there to be in tune with the track. Now, guess what? I'm going to mute the clap. I'm going to play this with the beat.
Okay. Let's
clap. Cha.
Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak, long star on a plate, big monster.
All right, so 363 hertz sounds good with that.
I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak, bitch. Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it.
So that could be one of the ways you can find frequencies. Now, this works and it don't work. It's a 50-50 chance that it makes sense. Now, that's 363 hertz. Let's go back here. And we're just learning some shit. We're just playing around. This is some stuff that you learn in audio school. All right, so this is roughly 363 hertz. All right, so let's go and fine tune that to 363 hertz. Come on, there you go. All right, cool. 363 hertz. Check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Oh, we got the track muted. Turn the tone generator on. You hear that?
Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate.
I'm gonna turn that tone generator down just a little bit.
Hoes looking like steak.
All right, you hear that tone generator? Now I'm gonna put this back on 515.
Yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713.
About 514 hertz.
Ha, well, we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with the.
But you hear how the tone generator, which kind of matches with the song, it's not exactly the same, but if you need to be in the ballpark, you can. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's always better to use your ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have all these tools to find, frequencies and stuff like that. That's fine and dandy. But again, like I mentioned a couple of streams back, man, you have to mix with vibe. And that's what I'm doing. I'm mixing with vibe. I think 514 hertz it has the vibe, it has the weight for the particular track. So what we're gonna do is undo that right there.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, of course we're gonna turn down that frequency. All right, cool. Bump that up about 3 dB. Now I'm gonna add some compression.
Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them.
Now we're gonna turn that fader channel down a little bit.
For the view when the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, well, we all got the knees.
All right, so the clap is sitting right where I like it.
Let's go.
Now we're gonna check that 808 volume in mono.
Okay.
Bring that down just a hair more. Yeah, about right there. So I brought it down to about negative 0.19. So I brought it down negative 0.7 dB.
Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak.
All right, so what we're gonna do now, again, is just go ahead.
On a plate. Big monster, I ain't even
change my colors for some
hoes
reason.
looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house.
All right, so we got this. This was made on a Roland TR8, Roland TR808 VST. So what we're gonna do is just turn that volume, that gain up on the channel strip. So on the channel, excuse me. So we're just gonna increase the input gain.
With the hammer, bow, bow, stutter, stammer, certified dope, collar code and camo. Yeah.
See how you can't hear that bell?
Rodeo on the beat.
Just turn it up a little bit.
713. Ha. Well, we all got the needs.
So when I'm turning up the input gains, I'm turning them up so I can hear it cut across the mix. Then I can just adjust the volume on the channel fader, and then if I want to proceed with plugins, I'll do that because I set the proper gain stage. So I'm gonna bring it up again to about 5 dB.
But it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper.
All right, bringing the channel fader down.
Long star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch started with
So what I just did was it allows me to have more fader control over the signal versus trying to drive it up past 0. When I give the signal coming into the channel more signal and I overcompensate that, as long as I'm not peaking in the red right here on this meter when I'm driving that signal in, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That gives me more headroom, so to speak, to turn this track down. That's why when you look at my beat stems, you'll notice that those wave files are not big like it is with the vocals. You see how these vocals are? Wave files. Woo, woo, woo. If my that cowbell was loud like that, then I wouldn't have a lot of headroom to play around with far as bringing input gain in and making adjustments on the channel fader. So that's why I tell people all the time, that's why it's so important to gain stage. That way you have room and flexibility to crank shit up just to drive out that good sound in a particular sound. All right. I'm gonna do the same thing on the hi-hats. See that? See how the hi-hats are low? And let me remove the input. All right, so you see how these hi-hats are low? If I want to kind of get it right at 0, let's add some input gain. Here we go. So I just added over 15 dB of input gain coming into this this channel fade. 15.8 dB I added in there just so it can bump up to 0 on my channel fader. Oh, got a little bit too much, so let's back off. Even at 13.9 dB, I just brought it down another 2 dB so it don't peak. Crazy, right? Now when I bring it back in the mix, I'm gonna see how loud it really should be if you was to, let's say, normalize. Because that's all I just kind of did. I manually normalized the track.
Hoes looking like steak. Bitch started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew.
Now, if I want to keep it that way, I can. But I just wanted to make the input gain where it's audible and cutting through the mix. So bring it back to 0.
Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up.
So I can hear it cutting through the highs. I can hear that at 9.6 dB. Now I have over 9.6 dB or almost 10 dB of gain riding and adjustments I can do. All right, with the plugin or without a plugin. All right, so I like how it sounds. It sounds dirty. Again, a TR-808 VST instrument I use for the hi-hats. Just kind of played them out, added some distortion and phasing and stuff like that just to give it that old dirty early 90s, 80s feel or sound to the hi-hats. Now we're gonna check this in mono, just to make sure we're not too loud.
Let's go.
We can add a little bit more to those cowbells.
Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak. Long star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak.
Stereo.
Bitch started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house.
So you'll see how stereo and mono is a little different because that's a stereo sound. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. It's a little bit too much for the stereo.
Thought but it was a chopper. Brody.
All right, cause this 808, I think this cymbal was played with the same instrument. So I'm gonna bring the input knob at 9.6 as well, and play it in the stereo track one more time.
Damn. Yes. Damn. You better damn. Okay. Damn. Yes. Damn. Okay. Damn. Let's go. Damn. Let's go. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Okay.
All right, so I hear this cymbal, this sound. I think it needs to be on my right side of my stereo field. So what I'm gonna do is get a binaural pan plug-in. Not plan, but pan. And is it that or the mix tool? I think it's the mix tool. All I'm gonna do is switch the left to the right and the right to the left on this particular track. Swap channels. There we go. So the mix tool, I want that sound is dominant in the left ear. You hear it in the left ear. I'm gonna swap those channels. Turn the plug-in back on. Swap channels. I ain't gotta do nothing else. And go ahead and remove that. You hear it? Now what I did was when I switched those channels, I'm creating my stereo field to be bigger than what you actually hear. And it was like something was missing in the right information on the stereo field. That sound needed to be panned. Now I could have panned it, but you know what I'm saying, you're still gonna have the dominance of the sound because it's a stem. You know what I'm saying? So in Ableton Live, yeah, I could have panned it without swapping the channels. But seeing as how I brought it into another DAW, I used the mix tool, swapped the channels, and saved me some trouble. And it sounds organic.
22, but it was a chopper. Brody yelling on it, hit him with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak. Long star on
Put
the
it
plate.
in mute.
Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like
And mono,
steak.
excuse me.
Bitch, started with 100 double bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a
like
pew,
that.
pew, pew, yeah.
Seems like them hi-hats need to come up a little bit more.
Wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope,
So we're gonna compress those hi-hats.
That chick like me, rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, what we all got the need.
So what I want to do is use a nice fast compressor for those hi-hats, man. I'm trying to keep this stock, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a fat channel, and we're gonna get the 1176 a run for its money. Or you know what? Fuck that. We're not gonna use 1176. We're gonna go ahead and use this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use a brick comp on this one right here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a 4-to-1 ratio. I'm gonna go ahead and go to about a slow mid attack time. I don't want to compress those hi-hats too much. You probably can't hear them now.
Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak.
Bring it up a little bit
Started
more.
with 100 double bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew.
Because I could tell. Okay, look. See this wave file? Hold on. Let me explain something. See, I like to explain what's going on, man. It's an educational channel, right? Right? All right, cool. Check out these hi-hats. These are the hi-hats right here. Right here, right? Yeah, you hear me? Hi-hats right here. Matter of fact, let me change it to red. So no more. Excuse me. This old pink color right here. Pink is hi-hats. You see how? Let me do this more. Let me do this even more. Hold on a second. There we go. See at the bottom. You see how the dynamics from here changes. See how those dynamics? There's nothing controlled on those hi-hats. You see what I'm saying? You can see when I zoom out. You can see when I zoom in a little bit, see how it's inconsistent or whatnot. So we have when I was playing those, I wanted to have that sound. That way I can create compression on that as a character type of tool. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is go ahead and compress these, and you'll notice that I have my needle compressing as such, so I don't get like a lot of compression, but I get some compression.
Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a peel, peel, peel. Yeah, yeah.
So you'll notice on the louder parts, you get more needle. On the quieter parts, you get no needle. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified don't call it,
put that up there for y'all.
Yeah, that chick like me.
Look on the quieter parts, no needle. And on the higher parts or the loudest parts of this wave file, you get more needle. That's like, bro, I'm gonna do a masterclass just on compression because a lot of people don't know how to use it and don't understand it. They just know one thing. When you do it right, it'll make shit louder. Rightfully so. But there's a science behind it too.
Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through
and I have it on 10-1, not by accident, but if I was to put it on 4-1.
the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a peel, peel.
So you just get different characteristics in tonal character. Some, a little bit more tighter sound. A little bit more open sound. So I like that 4-1 right there. That's good about right there. Let's very slow attack. Not a very slow attack, but a slow attack. Fast release. Or I could put it on auto. But it's not reacting like I want. So I'm put it back on fast release. Now I can even set the key filter in here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to set the key filter. We're going to make this game back up. Let's play this one more time. See how it's louder? So let's make up the game real quick. Off. We can add a little bit more. Right there. Now what we're going to do is, you know what I'm saying, we got like -3 dB we could turn up on the hi-hat. So we're going to do that as soon as this beat goes back in. I'm going to change my color back to yellow. For my purposes, here we go. Turning it up on the channel fader.
Bitch, I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me. Worth that thing, get it poppin', it's an order. Throw it in a circle, let me see you go the hardest. Hit them with a stroke, better show them you the artist. Killing these hoes, let it set rigor mortis. I'ma break them off real bad. I'ma get a check while you bitches get mad. Make them get down on the floor, pimp chat. Hey, I'm the bitch that a nigga wish he had. Yeah, say my name, watch your bitch reaction. How you getting mad?
Turn
because I'm paper sacking. If you can't do it, then you pussy lacking. This your check pimpin' and it's paper making.
Now I'm gonna turn the EQ on. It's a little bit too bright. So let's go to the spectrum meter and see where it's bright at.
I'ma break them. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me.
Right up in here.
Worth that thing, get it poppin', it's an order. Throw it in a circle, let me see you go the hardest. Hit them with a stroke, better show them you the
right up in here.
Killing these hoes, let it set rigor mortis. I'ma break them off real bad. I'ma get a check while you bitches get mad. Make them get down on the floor.
You hear that?
Hey, I'm the
that. Listen to it. It's right here. That's that right here. See how that's it right there. Watch that information.
The bitch that a nigga wish he had. Yeah. Say my name, watch
there you go, right here.
How you getting mad because I'm paper sacking. If you can't do it,
there you go again.
This your check pimping and it's paper making. I'ma break
there you go again. So right there where it starts to fade out at 5,728 hertz. Okay. I know that. Okay. Because the spectrometer told me that. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is go to the equalizer and I'm going to make that adjustment. This is going to be a rough estimate. So around about 5.5K. Okay. And I'm going to put it in high shelving mode. And check this out.
I'ma break them out. Yeah.
Let's bring that back a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more hi-hats. All right. About right here.
I got my check, bitch, I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week.
Now we're gonna exaggerate. All right, I'm gonna increase the gain on the high shelf.
Work that thing, get it poppin', it's
All right,
order.
now I
Throw it
can
in the
really
circle.
hear that, you know, I can hear my boost, but I'm going to cut that. So I can hear the boost at 2.1 dB. I'm going to cut that by its own value, negative 2.1 dB, okay? So it's going to be negative 2.1 dB. I'm going to exaggerate even more. I'm going to go to negative 2.4. Check this out.
I got my check, bitch, I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me. Work that thing, get it poppin', it's an order.
All right, I'm going to take that band off.
Hit them with a stroke, better show them you the artist. Killing these hoes, better set rigor mortis. I'ma break them off real bad. I'ma get a check while you bitches get mad. Make them get down on the floor, pimp chat. Hey, I'm the bitch that the nigga wish he had.
See how you can hear the
name,
difference?
Watch a bitch reaction, how you getting mad because I'm paper sacking. If you can't do it, then you pussy lacking. It's your check pimping and it's paper making.
Seems like it's the top end of those hi-hats a little bit too much for the vocal.
Bitch, I'm from the south.
All right, play that back one more time.
Bitch, I'm the boss.
All right, let's bring that in.
I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me. Work that thing, get it poppin', it's an order. Throw it in a circle, let me see you go the hardest. Hit them with a stroke, better show them you the artist.
All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring that Q bandwidth on this shelf. We want to sharpen that up just a little bit. I want the halfway point of this angle right here. You see how that shelf starts to come up? I want that halfway point to be around right there where my green dot is. Okay, so I'm gonna increase my Q bandwidth. See how I got that right there? I want the slope to start going down right there at the 5K line. This is the 5K line right here. Right here. This is the 5K line. So I want that slope to go down just a little bit. Now, these are all my mixing decisions. I'll be going, like I did a recording session last night. Dude was like, man, you're like a wizard on here. See, when I'm not streaming, oh, you better keep up. It's best to just record what I'm doing. So I really want this slope to be about right here. There we go. Now, it's when I have a very high slope, it's gonna give me a little bump right there, and that's what I want. I want that bump because I still want to have the hi-hats to be bright, but I still want this high information to be, you know what I'm saying, attenuated. So let's see how that sounds.
Check, bitch, I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me.
See how that's bright? When I turned the band off, now I'm gonna turn it back on. 6, 7, 8. It's like you can still hear it, but you can still hear the hi-hat at its same situation, but you know what I'm saying, the brightness of the hi-hat goes away, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did right there. So again, compress just to glue the hi-hats a little bit better, and you know what I'm saying, EQ, just that right there, just low shelving just to take down the brightness a little bit, but then adjust the Q bandwidth to add a little bit more presence in the hi-hats. So we good on that. Let's bring up those cymbals for a second. There we go. Now we can do just a single compression on those hi-hats. You see those cymbals right there? You want those to be like a it's there, but we can make it a little thicker. We can make it a little bit thicker. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull up some new shit, man. Let's see. All right, let's go with some new stuff. If I can find where it is. Let me see. Where you at? Hey, where you at? Yeah. What we're going to do is do this right here. I'm gonna pull up a plugin and lines plugin, okay? And we're gonna go for I don't use this plugin a lot, but I don't use it at all, matter of fact, but I'm gonna use it on the cymbals because it's gonna give me that dirty tone that I'm looking. This is an older style optical compressor. I think the brand name is Acme that this is emulated, and I don't know anything about the Acme hardware or anything like that, but This is a optical compressor that's gonna basically do a good job on this cymbal, and I hope it does. But it's gonna give me that tonality that I'm looking for. Yes, it does. Make that bitch dirty. I want a slow response. That means response means release, okay? Look at that needle right here. It's a little bit too slow for you, boy. But if I put it on normal, too fast. It's too fast. So let me put it on slow. All right, cool deal. The input gain is really kind of driving your attack time. Let's drive a little bit more. You get a little bit more volume out of that bad boy too. All right, so let's go back and play with this with the mix, okay?
I got it when you see that stance. Put them in the trance. Too much booty in the pants.
Let's turn that down, the input gain. Turn the input gain down a little bit. There we go, about right there, yeah. Yeah, okay, let's turn the output gain out a little bit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna turn the noise down all the way. I don't want none of that digital noise. You hear that? You gotta pay attention to some plugins that you have because they have this noise shit. Ain't nothing but a noise generator built into the plugin. Let's see how that nasty sounds. Now that's gonna go in your export. So as you got a fade and you have this on, that's gonna be a part of your noise floor in the plugin. You'll see it right here on the channel. You don't want that. Turn that shit off or turn it down. There it is. You don't hear the noise anymore. All right, cool. So let's play that back in the mix one more time.
See that stance. Put them in the trance. Too much booty
There
in
it
the
is.
pants.
Turn it off. You can hear the plug-in. I mean, you can hear the cymbal, but you got to strain to hear it. We want to flip this switch back on. Here we go. Now, when I introduce this plugin, this optical compressor, it adds the vibe. Again, mix it with vibe. I keep telling people you gotta learn how to mix with vibe. I added the vibe into the track, and I kind of knew this tonality, this old style compressor was gonna do the job. All right, so we're gonna turn it down a little bit though. We're gonna put this in mono right quick. See how it's too much? So we're gonna turn the channel fader down a little bit. Pay attention right here. Right here. Pay attention right there. Turn it down a little bit more. All right, that should be it right there. Take it in stereo. Play it back one more time. And you know I got it when you see that stance. Put them in the trance. Too much booty in the pants. Work. You better. You better. Let's go. Work. You better. Work. You better. We can bring out those cowbells a little bit more. All right there. All right, cool deal. So now let's work on the rest of the instrumental, and that is the red tracks. All right, so let's solve that, see what we got. We're gonna go back to this hook part right here. So let's isolate the sample because the sample is perfect. All right, so these are the two right here. So I'm gonna change the sample to green. All right, and the sample should be these two green tracks right here. And that extra noise you're hearing is coming from the console shaper plugin that's on the master track or the main track. Okay, I have the crosstalk on. How to explain this bad boy? And it comes defaulted in the pro version. The crosstalk is kind of like if you got one channel here, and let me put this. Let me talk to y'all for a second. So that console shaper plugin that you just saw, you got channel, like I said, you got a channel here and you have another channel here. That sound information is gonna bleed into this channel. So it's kind of like that's how the circuitry is on a real console. So that's why I use the console shaper. So you guys can kind of like, not for y'all, but for me, it just makes the mix appear to be a little bit bigger. And when you bypass this on and off, you definitely can hear. I can show you guys. I mean, it ain't nothing. You don't have to use it, but it's a preference, okay? And I like the preference because it just sounds better.
Too much booty in the pants.
I'm gonna turn it off right here.
Damn. You better. Damn. You better. Damn. Let's go. Damn. Work. Damn. You better. Damn. Work. You better. Damn. Yeah.
You'll notice that the energy is gone. The energy is, this plugin is really not doing anything. It's just introducing more channel bleed. And let's say, for instance, what you hear here, when you solo this, you can hear the 808 way down here. And you can hear some of the vocals. Especially this added lib right here. So that's what that means right there, okay? I'm not gonna harp on that too much, you know what I'm saying? But the sample is straight. So what we're gonna do is just trying to make sure that the other instrumental elements are audible and good. Like I said, this track was mixed in Ableton Live, but I'm coming in here just doing enhancements. All right, so let's bring it back to the hook.
Damn. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. You better. Okay.
Oh, I think this right here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. So this track right here is a delay effect. Okay, so let me label that. That is a printed delay effect. Okay, so I had a delay effect on one of the returns, and so it printed. So this is a printed delay effect. All right, and let's go here. See what this one is. Okay, so that's that time. We're gonna go ahead and change this color. Cool deal. Let's see what this one is. Okay, that's a synth and some bells. All right, cool. Now, what I'm gonna do is highlight both of these. I'm gonna turn up the input gains. So I'm driving more gain coming into the channel. Some of y'all probably would just go ahead and turn the fader up because, oh man, I want to hear more of it. You're gonna turn the channel fader up and it's set at 0, negative. Utilize these input gain control knobs. If you don't know how to get there, you see this wrench tool right here? Click on that wrench tool. Go all the way down. Well, not all the way down. Go underneath channel components and it'll be unchecked. When I uncheck it, you'll notice that those input knobs are not there. If your mixer does not look like this, again, hit the wrench tool right here at the top left corner of the mixer window. And you'll find all kind of neat stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can colorize your channel strips. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know what I'm saying, VSC, you can show your VCA connections, group assignments, and of course the input controls. Okay, why they have it hidden and not utilize this by default in the mixer window? Because some people don't know how to input, you know what I'm saying, gain stage, and it'll probably fuck some shit up. You know what I'm saying? You'll be thinking this does one thing, so you know that's kind of like what it is. Assuming I don't work for personas, but I'm assuming. All right, we're gonna throw this in mono. I already added 3.4 dB. Bring that back down to 0. You'll notice that the instruments disappear. All right, so I increased that back to 3.4 dB and I can hear the instruments. Now you hear the energy, you hear more energy in the mono mix, right? We just turning things up so it's audibly cutting through the mono mix. Now when I throw it out of stereo, it's probably gonna be loud as fuck. Here we go. Hold on, let me switch something real quick.
I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified
So,
dope, color coding, camo. Yeah.
by increasing the input gains and just really doing what we did on most of these beat stems is controlling the gain, input gain, gain staging. That's the essence of having a good sound in your mix. All we did was when we did these 3 red tracks right here. Hold on, let me go back. 'Cause I hugged all the rest of the elements in the audio. I hugged that around the vocals. Okay. Let me pop back over to the mainstream layout. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So you see that right there? All right. I got phone calls coming. I can't even stream, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? God damn. Hey, people. Look, when you see that, play it back one more time. Hold on.
Yeah, that chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713.
See how it hugs the vocals?
Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up.
Now when I bring that back down to 0, check this out.
He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that
That's back at 0. It's like, where's the mid range? Where's the instruments? So let's bring that back to 3.4 dB.
Let's go. Okay. You better.
Now, do you need to mix that? Do you need to EQ shit that you really don't need? See, these are all like mixing decisions people really kind of make mistakes on, because really it's all about gain staging. Once you get the gain staging right, sometimes the sound really don't need to be EQ or compressed or whatever you gonna do to it. You know what I'm saying? Like right there, it sounds like I don't need to do shit.
Yeah, that chick like me.
Yeah.
Rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it
Now I
up.
do need to do this. See that sound right there? I'm gonna pan that right quick.
You know that it's
To the left.
You gotta hot. Work. You better.
Oh, hold on. Let me notice something here.
Let's go.
All right, cool deal. So what we got going, that doggone color. All right, what we're gonna do now is utilize something I love to use, and that is the West S1 plugin. All right, the Waves S1 plugin. This is stereo image. I like to call it a stereo imager. That's all it is. We can take that sound, the whole stereo field, and tilt that motherfucker to the left. All right, let's do that.
Yeah, that chick
This sound right here.
rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Work. You better. Oh, you better. Yeah. Let's go. Oh, okay. You
So the asymmetric movement I did was the asymmetric movement is basically you're manipulating that stereo field. The rotation is going to be the actual pan on this one sound. We did that right there. Okay, sounded pretty good. It kind of moved all the information a little bit more to the left. Notice when I did the stereo pan in the mixer console, it didn't do shit. It was like you lost more sound when you went left or right. So we utilize this plugin to really kind of like manipulate the stereo image, okay?
Yeah, that chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Where we all got
Let's not do that.
in a rock.
You hear like the dominant sound on the left hand side? We're gonna do the same thing but flip flop.
You better. Oh, you better. Yeah.
All right, let me stop that. Let me reset this bad boy. Full reset and do the same thing. All right.
Let's go. Oh, okay. You better.
Listen closely.
Let's go. You better. Oh, yeah. You better. Drop that.
All right, play that back one more time.
Yeah, that chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it.
See how that one is? It's a little bit dominant to the right ear.
You know that it's too much when
We're
you
gonna try to pan that one.
Work. You better.
You'll notice that sound goes away, right? See that? You hear that dominant sound in the right ear? When I pan it to the left, look how it disappears. So if you're having those type of panning issues, now I can't do the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Now I can't do the same thing with the binaural pan. Okay, so let's bring up the binaural pan plugin. All right, it's kind of like the S1, but not as advanced. Okay, let's check this out. Same thing. So if you don't have the Waves S1, you can utilize the binaural. All right, let's play it in the mix. I'm gonna reset it and see what happens.
Yeah, that chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713, ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like truck with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Work. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, you better. Damn. Yeah. Let's go. Damn. Oh, damn. Okay. Damn. You better. Damn.
I'm gonna bring down that.
Yeah. Damn. Let's go. Damn.
I'm gonna turn that down a little bit.
Yeah. Chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713, ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like truck with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know
so we listen to everything in mono for these red tracks.
Work, damn. You better, damn. Oh, you better, damn. Yeah, let's go, damn.
Want to turn this sound down?
Okay, damn. You better, damn.
Hear this sound right here? Can you hear that right in the mono?
Let's go. You better, damn. Oh, damn. Ooh, yeah, damn. Ooh, yeah, damn. Ooh, you better, damn.
Now, what I did was I made some volume adjustments. I'm gonna play that back one more time, and we're gonna turn up all these tracks together.
Yeah, that chick like me.
In stereo.
Rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713, ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like truck with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's
Made
too
a
much when
little
you got
half a dB change as far as increasing the volume. Ooh. Now this is all being bussed into one bus track or whatnot, and we have this bad boy, our printed delay effect.
Let's go.
You notice you can't hear that delay on there. You see that dance too much. You can't hear it when the mix is playing. So what we're gonna do is gonna turn up that input knob. Yeah, we increased it about 4.8, and we can really hear it. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add a channel strip to that, and I'm going to bring out just the mid range on that. I feel like it needs a little bit more sauce, for as just a little bit more mid range frequencies or whatnot. Again, so I'm gonna pull up some presets. I'm gonna use a lot of stock presets in this session right here, only because I knew I was gonna have some beat stems. So we're gonna bring up the mid frequency range. We're gonna adjust the tonality by ear, all right, and see if we can fit that delay printed situation in here. Let's go. You hear it right there? Right about 986 hertz. We're gonna turn that down. About 1.5 dB, you sounded pretty good. Now we're gonna turn down. I don't want no compression. Now, I can have some compression, but I'm gonna put it on slow. Now we're gonna turn down the channel fader. See how that delay printed effect, how we EQ'd that, turned it up a little bit, EQ'd it, and adjust the volume really kind of adds more vibe to the sample. You know what I'm saying? And see, in Ableton Live, it sounds good. But see, when you print that shit out as a a stereo file, then it doesn't sound good. So kind of like, you know, with the vocals, multi-track, everything just comes out.
Too much when you got a hot damn. Work damn. You better damn. Oh, you better damn. Yeah, let's go. Damn. Oh, damn. Okay. Damn. You better damn. Oh, damn.
Now, what I can do now, just for shits and giggles, and I'm gonna try to do this or whatnot. We're gonna play this back. I'm gonna go take me a little potty break. And, you know what I'm saying, we will be right back. I'm going to play this back, take a little potty break, and we'll be back to start finishing off and putting this, the beat on mix bus channels. And what I mean by that is just putting the drums on its own mix bus so I can bring out those drums a little bit more, because the drums is the driving force of this mix. So let me go take a little potty break, and I'll be right back. Y'all see me squirming and shit like that. So let's go ahead, man.
Yoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak, Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me, rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713, ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot.
Damn, it's too much. All right, I'm back. I wash my hands. Yeah, I wash my hands. No worries. I wash my hands. No worries. No worries. All right, cool deal. So what we're gonna do now? I'm stupid, man. We're gonna go ahead and bust these drum tracks to its on mix bus. Okay. So all you gotta do is just highlight and add bus for selected channels. All right, and it's gonna create you a bus channel right there. All right, cool deal. So and then this is automatically routed to our music bus. Okay, all the way down here. This music bus is where everything beat. Music composition, instrumental, whatever. If it ain't vocals, it's going to this pink music bus track. So by me, you know what I'm saying, creating a bus track for just the drums, it automatically created a music bus routing to the output, the channel fader output to the music bus, because the original individual tracks were routed to that music bus. So if these selected tracks right here were routed to the main track, this bus right here would be routed to the main track. So I hope I ain't lose you in the sauce, but if you want to change that, all you got to do is just click that, click what you want, and you good to go. That's the ease of Studio One versus Pro Tools. I hate Pro Tools for that shit. Oh my God. So we got the drums right here. Now you notice that we still got a lot of headroom. We have a lot of headroom. Look at there. Roughly about 4 dB of headroom. I could just drive like crazy. Okay. Now we were working with the API console on the vocals. Let's keep that same energy. So as you'll see, it's probably not gonna work because it's been tripping. Oh, okay. Oh, it's working today. Okay then. Okay then. Show up and show out up in this. Okay then. It didn't want to work yesterday. So let me shrink this GUI for you. I hate this. They need to change this GUI, by the way, man. I like it, but it gets a little aggravating. All right, so this is the Soft Tube American Class A API emulation. We put these on the vocals. All right, now I can put this on the on the drum bus just to keep the same energy. But we're gonna play with some new shit, and that is the Lindell 50 series from Plugin Alliance API emulation as well. So I'm gonna hide that right there. We're gonna go to the bus channel. We're gonna change this to drum bus right here. All right. Now, I could give two fucks about anything in my beat, but the drum bus, my drums gotta be bus because I want the drums to be tight and separate from what everything else is doing in the mix. That's me, not you. So don't hold me to it. All right. So that's the drums right there. All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and pull up, shut up, pull up, shut up. All right, we're gonna go away and let me go clowning, man. Find the Lindell 50 series. Here it is. I'm gonna do the channel. All right, cool. We're gonna do the channel. This is what this bad boy look like. Let me decrease the GUI for you guys. The GUI. All right, there we go. All right, so we got that going right there. Let's go ahead and set up a couple of things. We're gonna go ahead and randomize our channel first. I like doing that because I just love how they just got that technology in there. All right, cool deal. We're gonna go ahead and go for a FET compressor. Now this is 1176 style compressor. We're gonna put this at 0. It ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, and we're gonna put our output. Let's bring our output to 0 as well, and our mix at 0. All right, see if we get in it. Signal. I don't know if I fucked that up or not. All right, cool deal. We did that. All right, so let's focus on, you know what I'm saying, working with the input gain on into the EQ. And I think I'm gonna not use something. I'm gonna use a 560 on here. I like how the 560 sound on this plugin, straight up and down. This is the best 560 API emulation, period. Give two fucks about what you say, okay? This one, it sounds really, really good. The FET style, I never seen a plugin with a FET style API type of situation. So this is new to me. The gate section, console, this is kind of like something plugin lines kind of threw in there, but we're not going to utilize the gates, and we're going to turn that off. All right, let's go ahead and get to work. Let's drive a little bit of input gain in here just to have some fun. You saw that, right? Yeah, let's drive it in there. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, let's give a little bit more total harmonic distortion right here. This little knob or screw knob. You hear that 808? Turn the plugin off. That's what the plugin off. I only did two things. Hold on a second, man. That's why I told you I had to just play around with this plugin and put it on the right information. It may not be good for some vocals. I know it works really well with female vocals, but on drums, it sounds fucking good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm freaking impressed. Okay. All we did was drove some input gain at about 3 dB, and we drove about 6.3 dB, 6.3 dB of total harmonic distortion. The plugin is bypassed. Check it out one more time.
Work.
That's with nothing going on. Turn it on. See how it's now hugging that vocal? I ain't even did no EQing. I ain't did no compression. Just straight up right here. The input gain. Now I know I'm driving it, and that's okay. I'm gonna drive this motherfucker because I have headroom to work with. Now, when I turned the plugin off, I told y'all we had 4 dB of headroom. When I drove this, it's at 3.14 dB. So I still got a full 1 dB of headroom I can play with. So I can go in here and find a frequency I like and crank that up 1 dB, and it probably ain't even gonna clip. You see what I'm saying? Again, that's how you understand gauge staging. It from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E to point F to point G. If you got to hit those many points, gain staging, okay? Now you'll see right here I'm driving that bitch, okay? Turn it off. Okay, so I drove that motherfucker and I still got 1 dB to hit play with. So those hi-hats, let's turn them up on the EQ. 8K, let's go.
Long store on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Hoes looking like steak.
Yeah.
Started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah.
All right, so the clap is definitely loud. So let me do this. Cheat code. Cheat code, cheat code, cheat code 101. Spectrometer. I'm telling y'all, bro. By the time you listen to my videos and all of them, I'm going to talk about this spectrometer is the dominant cheat code. See that clap right there? Just the clap right here. What it's telling you? 1100 hertz. Just go to 1000 and turn that bitch down. See how that clap disappears? Because it increased a little bit more.
Big steak, long store on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Hoes looking like steak, bitch. Started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with
I like it right there.
Bow, bow, stutter, stammer.
Yeah, that bitch go hard now. Fucking right.
Yeah, that chick like me.
I can add a little bit more air. Look, right here. The information starts to fade out at around 14,000K. Let's add a little bit more 16. Yeah, I know it's gonna be too much, but we just having fun, right? Let's just have fun with a plug-in, for example. See how it introduces air? This plug-in introducing air right there. The information is telling us. Hold on. Let me freeze that. This information is telling us right here about 14K. You can introduce a little bit of air. Be careful, though, because you got to remember, people got to listen on earbuds. It's going to be fatiguing. So the more air you push in, the more fatiguing this mix will sound over a long period of time, okay? I don't know why that came up. Get out of here. All right, so we're going to increase this just a little bit. I'm going to have to grab my other mouse because this other rollerball mouse is not going to do it for me. So I'm going to have to do this fine adjustment right here on this plug-in. All right, it's cool. We're going to do this right quick. Add that air. Here we go. All right, so that symbol really needs to be turned down. Now we have increased a couple of things here, there, whatnot. All right, so let's go back to that symbol. Let's turn that motherfucker down real quick. Now I'm vibing. I'm shaking my head, but I'm listening to that symbol because I'm vibing with the mix. So I'm gonna turn that shit down a little bit. Right there. Started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah. I'm gonna compress some more out of that. Yeah, that's not enough compression for your boy, man. So we're gonna drive some more in there. We're gonna turn this output gain down to 0. Let's give it a little bit more volume. We're gonna crush the fuck out of that. Right here. The compression is kind of showing on the channel fader. It's not even reducing at -2, but it's giving false. I don't know, but let's compress the fuck out of that goddamn symbol. Work. All right, let's turn this up a little bit. There we go. See that needle? Watch my hands. You gotta visualize that gain reduction. That's what I heard. Like, bitch. You see that gain reduction right here on this meter? It's gotta breathe. If you can time it just right. Pow. So we're gonna turn that down a little bit. Now you can't EQ that.
color code and camo, yeah. That chick like me, rodeo on a beat.
All right, cool. You can EQ that. Don't get it twisted. Now you can have fun with your compression and everything, but let's keep everything logic and common sense. You hear that high mid frequency is out there. So let's go ahead and EQ that shit out right quick. All right. Right here. There it is, right there. I'm gonna put it on my waterfall method. Right there. All right, so let's go ahead and adjust accordingly.
Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak, long sword on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even
add some hot shelving on that too.
Looking like steak, bitch. Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back, get them little
right
bag in
here.
the stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew pew pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, color code,
Nah,
and
we don't need that much game.
That chick like me, rodeo on a beat. Straight
Turn that down a little bit.
713. Well, we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like work with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Work. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, you better. Damn. Yeah.
There it is.
Damn. Oh, damn. Okay. Damn. You better. Damn.
It's like a pumping effect. That symbol.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely. I can. What's going on, Preston? By the way, man. To explain the waterfall method on the EQ, for example. Let me do this. The spectrometer is the same thing as this right here. So if I pull up the EQ, they're gonna represent the same thing, all right? Just different responses. Take that off right there. All right, cool deal. So it's not gonna represent as well because this is the overall mix. But let me play it again. All right, so I froze this spectrum. This is the overall mix. This is the main mix. This is right here is what you'll be mixing down in a wave file. Okay. This bright shit is the 808. I think of the waterfall in the Pro EQ and also the spectrometer. The waterfall is like a heat map to me. If somebody was on fire and it was a person and it was running across this frequency spectrum right here, I would see that. Just to give you an example of that, let's do this. I know I had a tone generator on here somewhere. Let me find that tone generator. Hold on. Let me get a tone generator. I think I deleted it. But let's get a tone generator and let me further explain that. So right here, for example, let me get a tone generator. All right. Tone generator, right? Turn the volume down just a little bit. Turn it on. Tone generator. Remember how I said this spectrometer is kind of like a why is this keeps wanna go here? Okay. This is the tone generator, right? This is the heat map. This could be a hi-hat, vocal, instruments, piano, a dog barking, recorded material outside. This is what the tone generator is recreating, a sound source. We're gonna crank it up a little bit. You'll notice when I crank it up from negative, I think it was like 19 to 18, just 2 dB, you'll notice that bad boy gets brighter. If I was to bring this to 10, cover your ears and you're gonna see this bitch turn like a goddamn comet. Watch this. That's at -7 dB, and you'll see how it gets brighter. You turn it down at -38, and you barely have an introduction of signal. So that's why I say like the spectrum meter, and also what you use in the Pro EQ for is the waterfall method is more like a heat map. Right now we don't have any sound coming through here because that's the symbol. But if I was to play that, where is that? Right here. Now you hear the signal of the hi-hat right here. Or you could actually see the signal. It's funny because when we talk, we can't see audio. Spectrometer and waterfall method, you can see the audio. And it represents like a heat map. Now, if I turn this loud, you'll see more introduction of heat. You'll see more of the signal. I know I'm crushing y'all ears. I apologize. Bring that back down. Now you see how the colors are not as boosted, so to speak. And vice versa on the Pro EQ. Now, you ain't going to have this effect. It's not going to be, it is what it is. You can't really kind of change that too much. You can freeze the image. Oh, you can't. For whatever reason. I wonder why you can't freeze it. Interesting. Now, this is the FFT curve. This is kind of like what we're normally used to on a lot of compressors. Especially like the Fab Filter Q3, the Slate Digital Air plug-in. This is more traditional. More of these curves. That's on the 12 octave scale, 3rd octave scale. But see how it's not like you think, oh, this is the resonant frequency here, but it's actually right here. Look, see this dominant block on the 3rd octave? Right here. That's like at around 3,000 hertz. And you're going to go and you're going to EQ that, and you EQing the wrong thing. That's why I use the waterfall method. Now pay attention. 3rd octave, this is what you probably normally see. And you see this resonance right here. Oh, I'm going to EQ that right there. I'm going to turn that down. But it really is right here. Check it out. Go to waterfall. What you're hearing, though, is... You want to hear that? Cool. I already know what it is. That's that. That's that shit right there. That's what you're hearing. Now, we can take that out. It wasn't bothering me. But if you want to be picky like that, you can. So what you got to do is play that again. Turn your middle frequency on. Now crank it up. That right there. But I need that in there so it can cut through the mix. So a lot of times, don't get caught up too much on that waterfall. Not you, Preston, but you know what I'm saying? Don't get too much caught up on a waterfall method and like everything you see that's bright, you're supposed to EQ it down. No, you still have to use your ears. Don't rely on the waterfall and like, oh yeah, it's bright, I'm gonna turn that down. No. You still gotta use your ears. It's just a representation on to find resonant frequencies and know what you're hearing. It's like I hear that frequency, but I don't feel like sitting up there and playing around with the knobs. This is a cheat code. That's all that is right there. Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. It's just a tool, man. It's just a tool. Just because you got a big old hammer don't mean you need to use a 10-pound sledgehammer to nail down a little nail this small. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're overdoing it. So that's basically how I can explain it. But hey, Brad Preston, man, I appreciate you kind of like coming through and wanting more emphasis on that, because a lot of people probably will see that and be like, yeah, man, I'm turning it down. Everything that's bright, you heard me? And then your motherfucking mix coming out, yeah, whatnot, man. Cool. And let's turn that tone generator out down too. Yeah, let's take that out of there. All right, cool. So we're going to go back here. Now, notice that we did some EQing, all right? So you can rewind back just a little bit, maybe about 6 minutes or so, around about 6 to 10 minutes. We increased a little bit of gain here. We did a little bit of EQing on the top end. We really didn't mess with the low end too much because the 808, it's just the 808. There's no other kick drums, no other tom, just the 808. So we really ain't gotta, like, we could turn up the 808 up or we could turn it down. We don't necessarily have to EQ that because it's a one low end source. So I can control that with volume on the channel fader. So why the hell I'm gonna boost the EQ just to have it to sound muddy in the mix, you know? Now, I do want to glue this mix, so I want to play with this FET because this motherfucker right here is sensitive and it's aggressive. So I'm kind of curious to see how it sounds on drums. So we're going to solo the drum bus. All right, I'm going to put the mix on all the way at 100%. Let's do that. It disappears because I got something on. I think I got the output down. So let's bring the output at this default setting. There we go. Okay, so the output gain was turned down all the way. So let's do this. Let's turn this plug-in off. This is where we at on the meter. This is how we're gonna gauge this. The mix is at 100%. Now these are default settings, so I'm gonna assume that the input knob is at about 5. But the input knob is gonna determine how much signal we're gonna be number one, gain reducing. And also to the attack time for this plugin. Okay. So be mindful of that. All right. What else are we gonna do? So we're gonna match this output knob because we don't have any compression going on. I'm gonna match this output knob. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna match the output knob to match what's going on right here. All right. All right. So that's our output knob. Oh, excuse me. That's the output with the compressor turned off. We're touching right here at this last on that boom 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 right there, that boom 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 boom. It's touching that yellow LED right here underneath the red one. So let's turn the plug-in on and let's match the output gain. Okay, it had some response, so let's bring that back. All right, bring it back one more time. Now, you can utilize the LED meter, but I'm all about the ears. On, off. If it sounds the same, it is the same. Rerun that back. So that's with the plug-in, the compressor section off. Turn it back on. All right, so I turned it on, off, on, or whatnot. We're close. I'm gonna turn it down just one tick. All right, there we go, just to be on the safe side. All right, so let's go ahead and start driving some input gain in here so we can start seeing some reaction on this compressor. But be mindful that our ceiling, big old knob down here is on 0, so we gotta put that on 2. There's no ups or in between these tick marks. It is a step situation. Let me refresh myself and see what the ceiling is. Let's go ahead and open up that manual real quick, okay? Because I don't want to give out the wrong information or whatnot. So let's do this, man. Let's go down here to this plugin module. And it states that the ceiling the ceiling increases the amount of compression and the makeup gain at the same time. So yeah, it's kind of like it kind of like it acts as a threshold, but it's not a threshold. And it's weird to say that because I played around with it. When you turn it on, you're not getting it. I could drive this input gain knob all the way. That's all the way. Hit play, no compression. But when I put it on the next tick mark, which is 2, watch what happens. Look at the gain reduction. Put it on 4. You get more gain reduction, but you still have the same volume compensated. That's it. Like, yeah, you ain't that motherfucker like brick wall, you hear me? So we're gonna put that on 2. Because when we put it on 0, it comes back down. You don't got no compression. So this is a weird one. Somebody please explain it to me because I'm gonna admit, like, I'm lost in the sauce with this one. But I find it for me in my production and the stuff that I mix, putting it on 2 is plenty. All right, there's no in between on this one, but putting it on 2 is plenty. So I'm gonna back off on the input gain knob, and we're gonna try to glue this mix together because this compressor is very, very, very responsive. All right, here we go. Okay. So we gluing it just a little bit. I don't want to go past 2. This first white indentation, that's all I want right there. And I can hear it gluing together. That's no compression. I turned the input gain knob all the way down. Start introducing a little bit. You'll hear that it glues just a little bit. Let me turn it off. No compression. Turn it back on. Oh, one more time. Here we go. Now, if we really wanted to drive it, here we go. You got to be mindful of this. That 808 is going to have that compressor pump. So that's kind of like with dance when that pooch, 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 pooch. So that right there, when you hear that pumping effect, it's a compressor type of effect going on, and we don't want that in hip hop. Nah, that's techno, electro, all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's that EDM shit. We don't do that in hip hop. You kind of want that to glue, and it depends on the track. You can have it pump, but you have to have tricks in order to do that. Another tutorial for that. But this one right here, I just want to glue the mix. So it's gonna be a lot of on, off, on, off. All right. Now I got the release set at, so you got 3 release times. One at 0.1 seconds, another one at 0.5 seconds. So that's like a half a second. So 1 micro of a second, 0.5 micros of a second. And then there's this other one that's 2 seconds. So you get 2 super fast releases, and then you get like this fucking slow ass release at 2 seconds. Stupid as hell, but hey, whatever. Oh, and then you get another release at 2.5 seconds. So you get super, super fast, super slow, and super slow. Whatnot. So let's do that one with Preston laugh. I like how it sounds at 0.5 microseconds. Let's see how it sounds super, super slow. So funny, the super fast at 0.5 microseconds, you would think that the 808 would sound a little bit more compressed, but the 808 opens up a little bit more. Versus with the 0.1, the 808 sounds a little bit closed in. So again, the reaction of the compressor, you can hear all that. That's pretty goddamn good, man. This is, yeah. It makes the 808 sounds bigger. Yeah. Now, of course, if you want that 20-to-1, all right, so if you want that 20-to-1 all buttons in mode, you just click this button right here. Go from C to L. So I'm assuming that their compressor mode is 2-to-1. That's all you get. And then the L, which is a limiter mode, I assume, is at 20-to-1. Let's see how that sounds. Different flavors of compression. That's all it is. So you can hear like that's a lot more compression. Just a little bit more. Put it back on 2-to-1. Now the mix is a little bit more up front in your face. That's no compression. It's all good. Now another thing with compression is it has a high pass filter on here. So what that entails us, and if you don't know what a high pass filter is on any compressors, a lot of compressors now are coming with that high pass filter. That allows your low end information not to be compressed. Let me say it again. If you see a high pass filter on a compressor, it's your low end information not to be compressed. So if I don't want to compress that 808 and I want it just to do what it do, utilize the high pass filter button. This is again very helpful. We're gonna see where that 808 taps out at. about 113 hertz. Now these are the transients right here at about 248 hertz. But there's some stuff you want to compress this to bring it out. So right here is the thick of it, about 120. So what I'm gonna do is bring the high pass filter to 120 roughly, and that shit, like, well, they got to do some better job on this graphical thing. I can't wait till they update this particular plugin because you can't really see the numerical situations right there. All right, cool. So let's see how it sounds with and without the high pass filter. So right now we have it at about 120. Let me fine tune that for y'all for a second. All right, y'all can see that information right there, 119.9. Here we go. Now you can hear that 808 cut through a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna bring it back down counterclockwise, back down to 0 hertz. Now you can hear the drum bus have a pumping effect, and that pumping effect is due to the 808 being compressed. All right, I'm gonna Control Z. Now you hear the drum bus with the 808, the driving force all the way through, and everything else is glued together. So that's why I like compressors that have this high pass function. If you go to the, I hope I don't lose my shit when I do this. Oh, let's cross our fingers. Let me do something real quick. I just want to see what the other compressor, the VCA compressor, has. I'm gonna put this on B. Okay. They don't have one. So if you was gonna use this on the drum bus, guess what? You can't really control the low end information. Not that I know of, but you can't control the low end information because they don't have some type of filtering on this particular VCA compressor. But you put it on the FET. And let me just do this for a second, y'all. Hold on a second. Boom, there we go. We put it back on the FET, and we can control that low end information. So I like this on the drum bus. I really like this. Like, I know I did a full review on here, but I only did it on like a lo-fi drum bus, and it really didn't give me a different effect. So, but I like what it's doing to these modern drums. These are very, 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 very modern drums. And I like what it's doing, you know what I'm saying, to this contemporary type of sound. I'm gonna take that's the compressor, compressing that 808 with the high pass filter. I'm sorry, it's not compressing that 808. I'm so sorry. Let me bring it back down to 0 hertz. It thickens up, but you're gonna have a pumping effect. The only way you can test it out to see if it sounds good is bring back everything. So we're gonna bring it back the mix, and let's see how that sounds. All right, so when that 808 dies out, we're gonna hear it with the high pass filter on. Interesting. So the 808, yeah. You see that? You see the 808 pump? So when that 808 get louder, you'll notice that it kind of decreases in volume. That's because you got that compression going on. So using even though the 808 doesn't appear bigger, you still can kind of like high pass filter it out and increase the channel gain on the 808s for it to cut through. So it's a preference of how you want it to sound. Yeah. That 808 is roaming free on the range. It is a wild horse out there. It is roaming free. You definitely right. Yes, it roams free. It is the 808. When I put the high pass filter on, and Preston said it best, it's free of compression. There you go. Now I could drive more compression in there just to kind of bring the rest of the drum elements forward in the mix and more controlled. course, we're doing too much. All right, cool deal. Let's do this. You want to bypass the whole plug-in? You'll notice now that the drum loop is like, it sounds like, what happened? It's like, what the fuck, dude? Turn the plug-in back on. Now we can parallel compress. Okay, how are we doing that, Rich? How you gonna parallel compress? You gotta send the signal to another mix bus? No, you have a built-in mix knob on this compressor, so that helps out even more. And you on a mix bus? Shit, talk to me slow. So if the drum sounds too overpowering, just bring back on the mix knob. Happy medium around about 70%. And it adds a little bit more punch. So at 70% is like you got more compression, but then it's kind of like you got compression here. Let me see. You got compression here, and then you're introducing a little bit more of that. It's not like all compression, but you're introducing more of that dry signal in there. So it adding a little bit of punch. I like that. It sounds straight, man. I'll lie to you. And we're not even peeking in the red. That's another thing I like. Awesome. Yes, sir.
Was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now is put everything else on its own mix bus channel. It's still gonna go to the music bus, but we're gonna put this on its own bus channel. So now the instruments, that's all the instruments there. Now I can saturate these more and bring them out a little bit more to match the intensity of the drums, because they doing too much, right? So what we can do is do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a clean saturation. I'm gonna pull up the SSL Saturator X, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about here. Let me see. There it goes right there. Here we go. X Saturator, not Saturator X. I like this plugin because it gives you a lot of attitude without the dirtiness or whatnot. Check this out. Watch this. Turn the plugin off. Hold on. Put it back on. Now, the thing I found that the depth and the harmonics definitely makes a difference, and also the shape. Now, I'm gonna play with these. I'm not gonna talk too much. We can drive more saturation in here, but it's all by taste. When you're using this, it's all by taste. What you hear is basically how you want it to hear or why you want it to sound. So there's no right or wrong way to utilize this plugin. Long as you just don't drive it where it sounds nasty like this. And that still sounds good. And I added over a dB dry saturation in there. So let's go back and set that at 0 and play around with that with the drums. All right, here we go.
Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew pew. told her I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar coding, camera. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, where we all got the knees. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock.
And I stopped. When I was making all those adjustments, you probably can't see through my thick ass bifocals. But I close my eyes and I fix everything with ears, you know what I'm saying, when I'm adjusting, okay? I'm listening to how the instruments are hugging the vocal again. I'm making my adjustments. So basically, by default, it was on 50% on the depth. I brought it back 2%. I found that it just sounds good there. The harmonics is went from 50%, drove it all the way to the third harmonics. I like how that sound. Then I backed off of it 25%. Then I went to the shape, and the shape is kind of like a tilt EQ. That's how it kind of sounds. Tilted more on the high end at about 12%, and then added 0.7 dB of drive. And then I closed my eyes and went from dry to wet. And I like what I heard right at about 82%. That's it. You would definitely hear a difference. I'm going to turn the plugin on, off, and see how you like that. Turn it back on. And you'll notice that our meters is basically almost identical. Pretty good. And that's why I use this plugin right here, man, especially on my melodic instruments. The X Saturator, it gives you that drive and that punch that you need for your melodic instruments without it having to, you know what I'm saying, make it dirty and nasty sounding. It has a clean sound. SSL native, man. Get their subscription through Gobbler.com. Go to their subscription plan, $14 a month. No, I'm sorry. I caught this on sale at $14, about $14.99 a month. But right now it's probably $24.99, but it's still not bad because they got some really, really, really good shit, man. Highly recommend that. Okay, cool. So we got the melodics done. I think we good. If I was to take these two bus tracks, so I'm gonna call this the melodic bus. All right, cool. That's the melodic bus. That's the drum bus. All right. If I was to highlight these two and turn those, there we go. If I was to turn those plugins off, this is how the mix sound like it did before we made these bus tracks. Turn off. There we go.
Okay. Okay. Let's go.
Turn them back on.
Okay.
You'll notice this is my VU meter for the overall music right here. Now, I can come down on that just to be, you know what I'm saying, politically correct and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with my vocals. Wait a minute. So we can turn that down. And I'm adjusting both of the bus tracks for the music, okay? You will see it right here. They both still highlighted. I'm gonna turn them down where the needle is hitting 0. Again, this is gain staging. Utilizing your VU meter. Turn them down just a hair. I want the loudest parts of that 808 to hit that 0. And it still sounds like it's doing what it's doing, but we're going to turn that back up because the vibe is not there. Again, mixed with the vibe. So I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. So negative 0.8. That's where we came up. By using the politically correct VU meter for gain staging, we got it back down to 0, and then I'll make a small boost by taste and by vibe, and we still under the 0 mark on the fader. So we still turned it down in essence. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of back and forth and mixing decisions that you got to do. Yeah, I got you, big dog. We can definitely do that, man. Let's measure the LUFS where we at right now. And that's with the vocals not even having effects on there. And we Now I'm gonna go to the vocal bus, but let's just see where we at with the LUFS, and let me see why my lead track is not working there, Preston. Hold on 1 second, big dog. Let me see.
Rodeo.
What the fuck? Oh shit! Wait a minute. Oh, it's muted. That's why.
Hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak. Long star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate.
All right, so let's play it from the hook, Preston, because that's gonna be the loudest part of the song. Let me get an LUS meter for you real quick. Let me get that streamliner, man. I'm on that plugin alliance mega bundle annual plan. Hey, I'm telling you, $180 is worth it, man, because they got that. I was talking with a buddy of mine from New York City, man. He was like, man, that wave stuff ain't what's up no more. I was like, I told you, man, that plug-in alliance, bro. So, Preston, this right here is the LUFS. It measures it. What it does, it gets your levels right for streaming. It's straight to the chase. You can choose your major platforms, okay? And this bitch is CPU hungry too. But you can choose major platforms. You can choose India streaming. So India have their own streaming levels. You can choose minor platforms. What's minor platforms? That's such as Bandcamp, Deezer, Napster, Pandora, Primephonic, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Those are the minor platforms. The major platforms are Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, Deezer again, SoundCloud, and also Bandcamp. Let's say, for instance, you want to do this for social media, for example. You also can check in Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. All right. And you also can choose your Streamliner default. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to put this on major platforms, of course. And let's say, for instance, hip hop. Okay. Now I could choose these quote unquote song examples that they have. So right now, the meters will tell me, okay, for all digital streaming platforms, and you're doing hip hop, try to find something that's close to what this song is. I don't think Childish Gambino, This Is America, is gonna match this. DJ Shadow, No Speak. Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing. Eminem, Darkness. Eminem, My Name Is. J. Cole, KOD. Kendrick Lamar, King Kuta. Most Def Love. Run the Jewels, Oh Mama, and Run the Jewels, Stay Gold. I don't think none of this is gonna match that right there. So you can choose your levels according to those mastered songs that they, I guess, adapter all of your systems thought was really good levels for streaming. I like how This Is America sound. It's very modern, and also J. Cole, KOD. I like J. Cole, so I'm just going to use that. So their targeting levels for J. Cole, KOD was target at -10 LUFS. Okay, but if we was to take that off and do Streamliner defaults, it's going to be at -14. So if I highlight Spotify, -14, Apple at -16, Tidal at -13, YouTube at -14, Deezer at -15, SoundCloud at -15, and Bandcamp at -15. So around that -14 default mark, like I said, we put up J. Cole, KOD. Let's see what This Is America was. Damn, that was at -8. Okay, so if you want your shit to be at the loudest at -8, that's what you can push for. So we're going to keep it right there. Major platforms at -14. You even got your targets right here. So just because we chose Childish Gambino at This Is America, this is our overall target. We want at the loudest to be at -8. But if you highlight these in green, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, YouTube, Deezer, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, your targets will be right here. -14, -16, so forth and so on. Okay. And then you could change it like Spotify on mobile. You could turn that codec on and you can hear how it sounds like, supposedly how it will sound on a mobile device. Tidal, you can hear the different quality at normal quality. And I don't know if you can change these or not. I don't think you can. No, you can't. So these codec on is just basically going to give you a sense of how it will sound on a premium account on Spotify on a mobile device, or you can see how it sounds on a free account. So you could choose between premium, free account, Apple standard account, or mobile, or Apple on the desktop, and then a mobile sound if the codec is on. Title if you got that hi-fi account versus the regular free high account. YouTube on the high quality versus medium quality, and so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and do that, Preston. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's why I put it on that Childish Gambino. And to be honest with you, -8. I think the last album I mastered, Rekka. Go look up Rekka, W-R-E-C-K, Rekka, W-R-C-K. I'm sorry, W-R-E-C-K, Rectified, on Spotify. I mastered that one at -9. Sounds good, bro. Sounds awesome. At -9. So I'm going to keep it right here at Childish Gambino. And I'm just going to flip through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a loop on the hook, okay? And put a loop on the hook. And we're going to listen to these in all these different formats right here, man. All right. That's Spotify Premium. Right now, it's sitting at -16. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn the codec on. I'm sorry. I did that wrong. Right now, it's sitting at -16. Okay. I'm going to turn the codec on. That's the free account. Premium. That works pretty good. I can hear the difference. So I don't know if you can see this, Preston, but it's showing -14, but it's showing the normality LUF or the gain. It needs to come up 2.8 dB. So that's when I will go to the sub mix and turn up the sub mix volume or the sub mix fader another 2.8 dB, or it'll tell me somewhere in the mix I need to start increasing something somewhere and get my overall mix at -14. So right now we pretty low. Let's check it out on let's keep the codec on and check it out on Apple Music. Damn, title sound pretty good. YouTube sounds pretty goddamn good. Deezer sound horrible. I hope y'all ain't paying for a Deezer account, because that shit sound bad. All right, cool. So that's basically what it does right there, Preston. Right now, this mix consistently with that hook in the loop is sitting at -16.8. So I still have a lot of headroom. I can push up to -8. So when I master this bitch, you talk about clean, no distortion. Like, yeah, I can really kind of go in there and do some incredible things with mid-side EQing, do some incredible things with multi-band compression, do some incredible thing with enhancements like exciters and low-end enhancements and shit like that. And then I probably still have room for the limiter for as a maximizer or something like that, because, man, you have over 8 dB of room you can play with to get at a -8 LUFS if I'm sitting right now at -16.8, and I'm like right at about 75% on the mixing thing. So yeah, bro, awesome, right? Pretty goddamn cool. Pretty cool, man. So we got the beat where we got it and where we want. So what we're gonna do now, I like how the hook is doing. I need to clean up this lead vocal mix bus.
Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeo Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, where we all got the knees. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I'm you know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn.
I'm sorry about that, Preston. I'm gonna be quiet for a second because let me fix this lead vocal. It's out there. It's a little bit too out there. Let me go ahead and tame it real quick, man. Really quick. So I'm putting a EQ. Oh, shit. All right, I'm putting an EQ right there above the Lindell master bus little situation so I can control the mid range on her vocal.
It was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate.
So right about
big
here,
monster, I ain't even ate. Hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, where we all got the knees. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster,
something just
I ain't
popped
even
up.
ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it.
Fuck that. We're not gonna use this one. I know what I'm gonna do. I like the mid range, but we're gonna use. I know I shitted on waves just a while ago. I know I did, but we're gonna go to the F6, because it's gonna do what I needed to do. All right. So this is what we're gonna do, right? Shut your ear, man. We got that turned off. Let's go to all right, we're gonna go right here and we're gonna rearrange that. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do some dynamic EQing, because I know what I need to do right there. So we're gonna choose the 4th band and find that frequency again. It's around about 2,500 hertz.
Was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper.
About 3,000.
Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back, get them little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah,
Pew, pew, pew.
I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo.
That's it.
Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, where we all got the knees. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He
So what I'm gonna do is, I know that's my frequency. I'm not gonna touch the gain. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put this on a mid fast and a mid release. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna keep that at a mid release and a fast mid attack. Okay. Now I'm gonna solo this just to make sure.
thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper.
Let me. I'm gonna adjust my Q band with. All right, pew, pew, pew. That gave me a perfect 0.5 on the Q. All right, take it out of solo mode, and now I'm gonna adjust the threshold. So what I wanted to do is duck that frequency range according to the frequency at 3,000 and the Q bandwidth at 0.5.
Yeah, thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody Yoin on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper.
All right, so you notice that I'm using the threshold.
Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak, bitch.
But I ain't got the range on nothing. So if I turn the range up, what's going to happen when I turn the range up on the positive side is going to increase that frequency range. If I put the range at a negative side, it's going to decrease the frequency range. All right, bring it back to 0. And let's make that adjustment.
Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah. I'm a shooter.
You see what it's doing? Yeah, not you, Preston, but you see what it's doing? So according to the threshold, is how much compression I got going on, but then how far you want to go down? You want to go down negative 18? Go ahead, do your thing, big dog. Yeah. So basically, you know, give or take, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what the numerical value of this range is, but at its lowest, you can do that. I'm assuming when you go down more on the threshold, it'll go like all the way down. Yep. Now, I'm going to give y'all something funny to laugh at. When I'm adjusting the range and the threshold, I want it to look like it's a puppet talking. Because I want it to react how she's talking. So I don't know if y'all caught that, okay? This is to help you out. I do this all the time with this particular plugin. I want it to talk. You know, how you have that, have you ever seen an animation where they have the mouth and you have the line that kind of ducks, you know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? It kind of doing like this right here. That's kind of like how I want it. Brody, you know what I'm saying? Just like she's talking it. So
big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate.
So already the release is too long. So let's shorten up that release.
Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha.
But be mindful that you have to have the right amount of compression. But I want the attack and the release times to do so. That's why I brought it down extreme.
Well, we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot.
So right there, I know that I'm compressing.
Thought it was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on the beat. Straight cowgirl, 713.
So right now, I got it where I want it. Yeah, it took me a while to understand it too. Yeah, Preston, man, it took me a while to understand it, bro. Like for real. But it's a good tool. Plugin Alliance, I don't think they have anything like this, so that's why I still have waves installed on here because it's certain things that Plugin Alliance don't have just yet. I'm waiting for them to get more. They have a dynamic EQ, but I don't like it. It's just it's not user friendly. You know what I'm saying? It's something missing about it, but I utilize this a lot. Yeah.
Was a 22, but it was a chopper.
All right.
Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate.
Now you'll notice that it seems like the mid-range intensity is gone. No worries. Once you have kind of like controlled the dynamics and you got the range for as how deep it's gonna duck that particular frequency range, and you got the right amount of threshold for us, and you got the right timing for us, again, how everything is going to attack the compression and release on the compression. And again, you know what I'm saying, it looks like she's talking right here on this frequency range.
Big monster, I ain't even ate.
All I got to do is just draw some eyes. Let's do this. Put some eyes right there. Check this out. And we're going to just turn those off for a second. I'm just going to be funny here for a second, man. I apologize. But look, we're going to have some eyes right here.
Hoes looking like steak, bitch. Started with 100 of a bag 22. Throw it back at them, little
I'm telling you, bro, like this the nerd shit I do on my own time. It looked like somebody talking, right? But don't worry, the 4 and the 6 band are turned off, so it's not doing anything. Okay, they turned off. See, the 5th band is on. Okay, so it's not doing anything. I'm just using this as a graphical representation or whatnot, man. That's how I had to understand this plugin. I'm just gonna give my secret out. That's how I understood this plugin right here. So I can highlight these two, bring this down, make it more like it's somebody that's talking.
Oh yeah, that chick like me.
Look like a goddamn frog, right?
Was a 22, but it was a chopper.
All right, cool. Man, let me go clown around. So now what we want to do is if I want to increase it. So now that we got the compression responding the way we want with the vocal, I can turn up the frequency band gain now accordingly. That way I can now hear the full effect. I know it sounds confusing, but check this out. Watch when I turn up the gain.
It was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass bitch.
I increased the gain by 1 dB.
Big monster, I ain't even 8. Hoes looking like steak.
Bring it back down to 0.
100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view.
You see how that mid range is not pronounced. I'm gonna bring up the gain a little bit now.
Chick like me, rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Where we all got the need.
Back at 0.
Drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot.
All right, I turned it a little bit too much, but
it was a 22, but it was a
start right there at 0.6.
Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper.
Now turn the plug-in off.
Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even 8.
It's like too much right here.
Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar coding, camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat, straight cowgirl, 713. Where we all got the needs. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit too much, so I'm going to back off on the range now.
It was a 22, but it was a chopper. Rodeoing on it, hit it with a Texas whopper. Big ass, big steak, long saw on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even 8.
Just brought it up 1 dB.
Hoes looking like steak.
Yep.
Started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute.
Now we're going to turn down that mix bus down.
Certified dope, collar coding, camo. Yeah, that chick like me.
Put it on mono.
Straight cowgirl, 713. Where we all got the needs. Bitch, I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot.
She screamed at the end. But the music bus needs to come down, so I'm going to turn down the music bus a little bit. There we go. If you can make it sound good in the mono, if you can make your mix sound good in mono, I'm telling y'all, it'll sound good over all streaming platforms. I'm telling y'all, that is a testimony, bro. I'm telling you, once you master the mono to stereo and make it, if you make your mix sound good in mono, I guarantee you, I bet you all of my savings, my goddamn stocks, my motherfucking, my goddamn disability, everything. If you master mono and making your mix sound good in mono, it's going to translate so fucking well on streaming platforms. And that was the adjustment that I had to make from, you know what I'm saying, back maybe about fucking 4 or 5 years ago when everything was starting to transition over to exclusively digital streaming platforms. Bruh, it was tough. I ain't gonna lie to you, because you was mixing loud for CD, and then when you go to the digital streaming platforms and that shit was you had to change your techniques basically. you have to change some of your techniques. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, man. So if you can make it sound good on all digital streaming platforms, if you can make it sound good in mono, it'll sound good on all digital streaming platforms. All right, cool. So let's do this.
Was a 22, but it was a chopper. Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak.
We got a little bit to do on those vocals. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna do some tape saturation, but this is not saturation. It's compression on the cool. Okay. The more you drive this into a tape saturator or a tape machine, it's actually compressing those vocals a teeny tiny little bit. Okay.
It was a 22, but it was a
and you turn up the game too.
Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah, yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha. Where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Work. Damn. You damn. Oh, damn. Pick it up, work. You better work. I'm the boss. I just went in a whole week for my house. I got promoted, I got a degree. Or just cause you bitches ain't fucking with me. Work that thing, get it poppin', it's an order. Throw it in a circle, let me see you go the hardest. Hit 'em with a stroke, better show 'em you the artist. Killing these hoes, let it set rigor mortis. I'ma break 'em off real bad. I'ma get a check while you bitches get mad. Make 'em get down on the floor, pimp chat. Ayy, I'm the bitch that a nigga wish he had. Yeah, say my name, watch your bitch reaction. How you getting mad because I'm paper sack. And if you can't do it, then you pussy lacking. It's your check pimpin' and it's paper mac. It's go to sleep, I'ma pew. I'ma break 'em off real bad. I'ma get a check, hold up, wait a minute, hit 'em. Hit 'em with a stroke, bitch, I'm from the south. Bitch, I'm from the south. Do my thing, do my.
Oh shit. All right, cool deal. So what I was doing,
Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew pew pick while you bitches get.
so right there, I'm at the point right now. All the vocals, for the leads are equal. All right, and
Yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer, certified.
all right, cool deal. So now I can go to this right here. Now I use the virtual tape machines as a form of compression. But now I can really play with this fresh air and really do some magical stuff.
Brody yoing on it, hit it with a Texas Whopper. Big ass, big steak. Lone Star on a plate. Big monster, I ain't even ate. Grrr, hoes looking like steak. Bitch, started with 100 of a bag, 22. Throw it back at him, little bag, keep it stew. Walking through the house, pee popping for the view. When the kids go to sleep, I'm a pew, pew, pew. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I'm a shooter, I'm a bammer. Hold up, wait a minute, hit him with the hammer. Bow, bow, stutter, stammer. Certified dope, collar code, and camo. Yeah, that chick like me. Rodeo on a beat. Straight cowgirl, 713. Ha, where we all got the knees, bitch. I drop it down, pick it up, throw in a rock. Got that thing shaking like twerk with a knot. He like when I walk by and I make it pop. You know that it's too much when you got a hot. Damn. Work. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, you better. Damn. Yeah. Let's go. Damn.
Turn that ad up right there.
Okay. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, damn. Yeah. Damn. Let's go. Damn. You better. Damn. Oh, damn. Yeah. Damn.
And I don't even have effects on here, so. All right, cool deal. I have to go and I got to do a podcast streaming for a client and whatnot, set that all up or whatever. So this is going to be the end. I know people tired of this damn song right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it out with effects. So that's all I really need to add is delays and reverbs to the vocals and sprinkle a little bit of reverb on the clap. And I'll close that out. So I don't know, Preston, you want to see the end of it? Preston like, man, nah, man. He got the crying face emojis and whatnot, man. Yeah, I gotta go or whatnot. this is gonna be the end of this. I gotta do this podcast streaming, so I'm trying to finish this song up tonight. I'm at like really 90%. The other 10% is gonna be effects and whatnot, man. So I'll come back, man, and about that's gonna be at 6 o'clock. So it'll probably be about 8 o'clock, man. But I'm definitely gonna hop back on here tonight. Finish this off. All I have to do is put some effects on here for his delays and some reverb. So what it is, we streamed over 2.5 hours right now. It probably won't even be that long. Because I really did talk about a lot of good information tonight, or whatnot, or this evening. So we'll do that right there. I'm gonna listen to this in its full, and I'm gonna hop off this call. Y'all already know how I do it. I'm gonna turn on the Weiss compressor / limiter just to get a good feel of it. And matter of fact, fuck that. Yeah, we'll put that on. I think it's set where we wanted the last time. Yes, sir, it is. And then we'll put on the VSX. We're gonna check this out in a club environment, y'all. I'm gonna check this out in the club environment, okay? Just to get a feel of how this going to sound, all right? So I'm gonna put the depth all the way on full, and we're gonna put that right there, and I'm gonna increase it from the beginning. And like I said, I'll see you guys here shortly in a couple of hours. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'll be back to close the session out. And we'll check them LUFS meters, Preston, and stuff like that when we come out, man. Here we go.
Drop that booty, make it go round and round. Then you gotta pick it up, then drop it back down. You gotta work. You better work.
I may make some adjustments on the faders. Oh, yeah. Pretty freaking good, man. I'm close. And that's not even with the bass mode on. That's good, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it is, man. That bass is coming in right, bro. For real, for real. The vocals can come up a little bit, man. Let's bring those vocals up just a hair. A little bit too much. Right there. Yeah, that sounds damn close right there. Let's go through my presets. That's from a client's perspective. That's the mastering room right here. Let's hear it from an engineer's perspective. Sounds good. So that's in the engineer's seat. All right, we're gonna go now to the boombox. So this is like one of those Sony boomboxes. All right, we're gonna switch over to the Tesla. Let's see how it sounds at a Tesla. Shit. Hey. All right, let's see how it sounds in the G-Wagon, the Mercedes G-Wagon. Here we go. I don't know who they're trying to call right there, but All right, let's check it in the studio. That's on the near fields right here. I'm gonna go to the midfields. Sounds good. Now we're gonna go right here on the far fields on the hook. Now I did all that to set y'all up to see how it sounds on earpods. All right, here you go, earpods. That's how it sounds on some Apple Pods, wireless. All right, cool deal, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get the hell up out of here because somebody gonna beat my ass. All right, there we go, man. I gotta get up out of here for my client come and fire me, man. This has been your boy Super Mario, man. I'm out. See y'all in a couple of hours, man. We're gonna go ahead and close this session out. Preston, big